Hey, Alex, at the solution to 1984 is 1776. They're all playing the hits at the D.C. rally, huh? Alex Jones is at a podium. Uh, I believe he's talking about, he goes, we renounce Satan. This is,
Okay, let's see.
everyone's taking this loss about as well as you'd imagine.
Never feel alone. No matter if you're in a jail cell, or no matter if you're dying of cancer, or no matter if your car broke down in the middle of the desert.
God, dude.
The God.
Dude.
He sounds rough.
Dude, this guy is at the end. I hate to say it. I know he just came on the show, but this guy is at the end. I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, it's got to be amazing to be a guy who was telling everybody about Epstein years before, to be proven right, and to have that mean ultimately nothing, to get no, accolades for that. Had somebody like him been listened to, they might have been able to save certain women from being abused. But he doesn't get any respect for that. And a lot of it is because Sandy Hook just sucked all the air out of the room, and for good reason. A lot of people are unwilling to see him even as a human being because of Sandy Hook, which I understand, because it is horrible when the parents of children that have been murdered have to move and disguise themselves. It is absurd. Now, how responsible he is for that, and I'm not trying to get away with something here. I truly don't know. So I wasn't really watching him during that period. Supposedly, he downplays how much he questioned Sandy Hook. I have heard from other people that is not correct, and that he questioned Sandy Hook all the time, repeatedly. But I don't know. If I knew, I would tell you. I just don't remember. I don't remember him talking about Sandy Hook. When was that? What year was
2014 is when he went pretty hard on it. Yeah.
Were you around? Were you watching him then?
I've told you this
I would
before.
check in here and there.
I've told you off air before, I was a Sandy Hook truther. That's how for like a week, and then my brother talked me out of it. I found clips from InfoWars and things people were putting on YouTube where I thought there were crisis actors and all these things. It was like my first conspiracy. So
how old were you?
I was in college. I was a sophomore in college.
You were a Sandy Hook truther?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't say that back on the episode in January when we did InfoWars.
Right.
I didn't want to admit that publicly, but it's a Patreon, so.
I think it would have been really funny if you sat down on InfoWars, which you didn't even know you were going to be on.
Right.
I just put Ben on InfoWars because I thought it would be an amazing moment in his life, But of course, like everything else I've done for him, he's like, it's kind of like whatever. It's expected, it's entitled. I think it would be great if you sat down and said, I also am a Sandy Hook truther.
What would he say if I said that?
He would have said what he always says. He's like, well, no, listen. And this is a problem. This is a problem. You look at things every day, you bring somebody on your show, and basically they say a few things, and you question a few things, and, my team here was making me question a few things, and, it's the globalist power machine is very, it'll just go into. But, he sounds worse now than I've ever heard him, and I feel bad.
During the live stream, I thought he was having a heart attack at one point.
I know. It's bad, man. He's done some good.
Mm-hmm.
He's done some bad. He's truly a fascinating American character in a way that very few people are. He's made in America, that show. Remember when MTV was doing that show Made?
It was just called Made?
Yeah, they would send some fat chick who'd be like, I want to be a cheerleader. So they'd send a cheerleader to her house. or some made rapper. You know what I mean? Like some guys like, I want to be a rapper. Usually a white guy who's like, I want to be a rapper.
Oh,
So
interesting.
they would send like somebody to your house. It was like a big show. Yeah, a BMX rider, class president. Beans is made into a high school graduate. Oh my God. Look at that.
That's great.
Made season 2, episode 4. Beans is made into a high school graduate. By the way, everybody else wants to be like a film director, a triathlete. Some guy named Beans is. Can you get that episode?
Let's see.
Poor Beans.
It's got to be on YouTube or something.
Beans is made into a high school graduate. I guarantee you this is probably like the worst, most racist episode.
Okay, I found it on IMDb. So it's going to be episode...
Beans.
So it's on MTV. Interesting. Let's find the exact...
Ben is made into a Sandy Hook truther. That would have been a good made. It's just somebody showing you clips from Wolfgang Halbig. Because he was the guy that like looked into Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
Wolfgang Halbig, and he just went on InfoWars and just...
There were so many YouTube compilations at the time and clips of Alex.
I don't want to go into a deep dive on Sandy Hook here because some of the people on this Patreon are going to probably... There's definitely Sandy Hook truthers on this Patreon, but I'm wondering what was the thing that got everybody? Like, was there one hook that made... And here's why I don't believe in the Sandy Hook conspiracy or any of those conspiracy theories. The government doesn't need to do these false flags to pass laws to take away your freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
They will take away your freedoms and you will do nothing, as they have forever. Do you see? Like, they don't need to do this as a prerequisite for taking away something that you have. They will just take it away and you're not going to do anything about it. And they haven't taken away guns, and they're not going to take away guns. There's no false flag big enough where this country will be okay with not having weaponry. So that's why I don't think that the Sandy Hook false flag was like necessary.
So season 1 and season 12 is on Amazon. So let me see if I can find any clips on YouTube.
But I am curious just out of, because it was that kid Adam Lanza. And again, I'm only going to spend another minute on this because I'm opening a door I don't want to open. Right. I really don't want to open this door at all. But what if throughout this hour, I become a Sandy Hook truther? Like, I just start looking at the evidence to debunk it, and then I can't. And then on the other end of it, I become a Sandy Hook truther.
You just pull a 180.
What was the one thing that got people?
The one thing that really got me was the reuse of the crisis actors. So they had compilations where they showed people in other crises on YouTube where they looked the exact same. And I was like, holy shit. And like the principal they found in some like commercial or TV show, weird things like that.
Right, but a lot of people look alike.
I know.
It's very easy to make a compilation.
I had like a panic attack. I started spiraling. I remember the night. I was like, it was my first conspiracy. It was the first one.
What a fucking bitch.
I know.
What a bitch
I hadn't
conspiracy.
met you yet. You hadn't taught me.
No, but it's just kind of a bitch to Sandy Hook being your first conspiracy.
That's the one.
And then you were talked out of it in a week by your brother. What a cock.
I know.
You just gave up on it after a week. Your first conspiracy, you gave up on it after a week just because your brother was like, hey, actually, kids really did die?
Yeah. So I was trying to tell him and his friends at their house.
Who?
Him and Pat and Hutton, his friends. I was trying to tell them.
Which brother?
My older brother.
Jace.
Oh, my older brother Jace. I was trying to tell them that Sandy Hook didn't happen. And his friend Pat goes, hey, man, my nephew's cousin actually died in Sandy Hook, so you need to shut the fuck up right now because they're going through a tough time. And I was like, oh, and I just like sat down and I turned red.
What about Hutton?
Hutton was just like reading. He was a bright guy, so he was just like ignoring me.
Hutton was a bright guy?
Very bright dude.
Hutton?
Yeah.
What's Hutton doing now?
He is a doctor in Houston. I can't remember what kind of doctor he is.
At the pit? Or is that's El Paso?
That's El Paso.
Oh,
yeah.
Hutton works at the pit.
Yeah.
He's a bright guy. He's in charge of throwing the bodies in the meat locker over at the pit. What a dude. This guy, Adam Lanza, when you look at his face, there's very few people whose faces are as creepy as this motherfucker.
Like a corpse.
Now, what happened to him? He's dead, right?
Let me see.
By the way, please, God, do not. This Patreon episode is to dispel the Sandy Hook conspiracy. So please, and I'm sure that many of you in the comments will choose that this is the appropriate venue, but just let's not. We're going to have to delete comments. No, we're going to delete them.
I delete some. When you guys say Sandy Hook didn't happen, I do delete them.
Listen, because we'll just be off Patreon. I don't care about any one of your freedom of speech more than I care about the idea that we can have a show.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to go into like a crazy debate about Sandy Hook, we're just going to have to delete your comments because I have enemies. The enemies will screenshot that. They will go, look at what he's doing. And then they'll go to fucking Kamala Harris, who's running Patreon probably right now, and they'll try to get us out of here. So don't fucking whine and moan and bitch. There's no freedom on the Patreon. You can call me fat and say I suck and I'm not funny. You can't do a fucking 300 comment thread about Sandy Hook. And I shouldn't have even opened this fucking door. Move on from this, by the way.